alaikum and a very good evening right here from Kenya's capital. I'm talking about Nairobi Metropolitan Service. My name is Faisal, Kassim, and welcome to Live Real Talk, where tonight we'll be talking about the Building Bridges Initiative. So as far as the youth is concerned, this is an initiative that has taken center stage in the political class since March 2018, after the historic handshake between His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga in an historic event that since then has built a momentum for as far as the political discourse in this country is concerned. Now tonight, I'm having two great gentlemen, energetic, young, very vibrant, leaders in their own respective rights here in the studio to discuss matters BBI for as far as the youth is concerned. I'm talking about Mr. Muturi, someone that you've seen before a couple of times when we were doing the Sobah show. Muturi, good evening.
Good evening.
Tumezoea kuonana asubuhi sana lakini leo ni mara kwanza tunaonana jioni
Tumeonana tena jioni.
Yes. Karibu sana. Thanks so much for making time for us. And of course we have our very vibrant lawyer. We had him here last time and he declared his candidature for the Dagoretti North Member of Parliament come 2022. I'm talking about Nuruddin Kagia. Good evening, brother.
Good evening. How are you?
Salama sana. Thank you so much for making time for us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and we are expecting Ibrahim Abdi, who was once the chairperson of the Kenya University Students Organization and also an advisor to a political leader that he prefers anonymity. Of course, he'll be joining us in a short while right here in the studio. Before we take it any further, gentlemen, starting with you, Nuruddin Kagia, you have before come out vehemently to take a stance to oppose the Building Bridges initiative. So, very briefly, is that still your position?
I believe we're doing the right thing at the wrong time, and it's not a priority right now. So, for me, I believe we have more pressing issues to address other than the BBI, to be honest.
So, what is your exact position on the BBI, Building Bridges initiative, as it is, the way things are moving right now in the country? People have already submitted signatures. Okay, now very soon it will be taken to the county assemblies. So what is your position on that?
In answering that, about signatures, first and foremost, there are issues and cases of coercion and duress. So first, that shows you the illegality. So if at all we are going to discuss whether I would support or not, my answer is hell no.
So you don't support the BBI, Building Bridges initiative?
Because I believe we have one of the most forward-thinking constitutions.
Yes.
And in that right, they have failed to implement the constitution. Okay. What tells you they'll implement an amendment?
So your position on BBI is a no-no?
It's a no-no. We have more pressing issues.
Interesting. Again. I've seen my brother Ibrahim Abdi as well, who has stepped inside the studio. He's going to be mic'd by Mohammed Samobura. I wish someone was there to pan the mic, to pan the camera and see them doing their thing. But anyway, he'll be working on the set any minute from now. Bwana Muturi, what's your position in the BBI, brother?
I think we have a problem in the country, and we start by accepting we have problems that are facing the population of the country, starting from economic problems to political problems to social problems. Yeah. And especially young people need to find solutions to these problems, and the political class need to find solutions to these problems. Do we have a way to go, or are we seeing a light at the end of the tunnel? I think so. So I think BBI is a step in the right way, and I think we can keep on objecting.
Allow me to cut you short, Bwana Muturi. The position is, the answer is quite simple that I'm looking for. Are you supporting the Building Bridges initiative right now as it is, with the discourse it's taking, or you are, you are rather proposing a different avenue of looking at things?
I support BBI not exactly as it is in its entirety, but at the same time we need to understand that we need to start our way forward so that at the end of the day we can solve some of the problems that we have. This is not the constitution and the laws that we have. They are not dead documents. They are alive, and we keep on changing and working them out and developing them. So I think let's start with the step that we have. We can't keep on objecting and saying we have bigger problems. So do we have a simple solution to a problem that we have, and we can keep on improving in the solution? Because countries, the big democracies we have in the world, they keep on making new laws and changing old laws. So we can't keep on complaining, says we have problems, and then at the same time we don't want to come and find solutions to the problems that we have.
So technically speaking, you're in support of BBI?
Yes, I am.
Thinking that it's going to give us solutions to some of those problems.
It's a step forward to finding a solution and prosperity to the dreams and the aspirations of the Kenyan population.
Wow, thank you so much. Nordin Kagia, I'm going to come to you now. You said in your first answer that we are doing the right thing at the wrong time. Would you mind expounding on that?
I believe our constitution isn't, it's not perfect. It has some issues, but what is the urgency? What is the rush? Why do you have to amend a constitution right when you see an election? That is the problem that faces Kenya. You see, the problem is they have failed to implement what is there already.
Okay.
What tells you that any amendment will be implemented? You see, my problem with the entire process is one. Like I said, there are instances of duress and coercion in
what do you mean by that? Duress and coercion in terms of signatures. You clearly said that.
Because
I'm going to put you to task to substantiate that.
Yes, I will. You know, they say where there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay.
There have been instances where people have been saying, the Kassim Tani youth who have been working, they have been told, if you don't sign this, you won't get paid your dues. And there are instances where, if you saw the clip by the Makueni governor, where they went to a ceremony where he was, and they were saying to people, this is a list of, we are trying to see how people are, the COVID preparedness and what have you. But in essence, they were collecting signatures. You know, my issue is, you want to tell me that sign here, then go and read this document. How's the process supposed to be? Read the document, then decide to sign. So when you tell people, sign, then go and read, that's like saying, Faisal, I send you to a class, do an exam, then once you leave, I give you notes. So how have I helped you? At the end of the day, the entire process is marred by one. There is so much bravado and force. And if at all, as they call it, a people process, if at all it is a people process, it should be led by the people. The interests of the people should be of paramount importance. And what we have right now is a political, selfish-centered led campaign, and that is the issue. Because we have two types of, when you want to amend the constitution, it's either the people, through a people process, or where politicians come together.
So is your issue the actual document or the process?
My issue is one, the document has failed to address the issues ailing the country.
Okay.
First and foremost, when you say, for example, you want to address historical injustices, have they talked about extrajudicial killings? Have they talked about, we have things like the Ndumu report never implemented, the Kriegler report, the Waki report, they have never been implemented. So you rush to open a vacuum document, you spend billions of taxpayers' money, all in a bid to say you're trying to solve issues. You know, when you talk about bringing people together, the unity, for example, as they say, unity, then you go around and say, let us have a referendum, a yes and no. That's division as it is, because if you decide to vote no and you lose, my dear friend, you will feel aggrieved. So what happens to you? Are you not united? And unity, for example, we should not see anything like chest thumping like we're seeing, the bravado like we're seeing. We need to accommodate one another, because this Kenya, let me tell you, nobody has the monopoly of ideas. We are all Kenyans, we are all sons of this soil and daughters of this soil, and there's no second-class Kenyan. So we need, if at all it is for the good or betterment of the people, we need to put the issues of the people ahead. Things like we need to check on the economy. And things like the youth, for example. You know, because when they tell you the things they've told us about the youth, they've told us the youth commission, they've told us a seven years grace period for tax. Have they talked about the capital? There's no business with the capital. And the HELB, what have you? Now we are seeing they're reducing the HELB and tripling universities.
We're going to come to that. We're going to come to that, Nordin Kagia. But allow me to welcome my brother Ibrahim Abdi, who's also an officer of the court. Assalamu alaikum, brother, and welcome. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much, my brother Faisal.
Ibrahim, I'm going to ask you the first question that I asked everyone on the set this evening. What is your position on BBI? Before you say that, you came out strongly after immediately the first
bridges on very I think that uh, had felt this feeling, uh, you know, we had three lives. That's we can support who then yeah. That was create it does not
What are to provide nature? Where as well document the by the document look just give me the in the bridges
of the token of position that the position uh, this this position
yeah
that address the BBI has been not addressed in to the because 15% to the people who can 50 the percent you know
is want to go uh, one anchor towards in front captured and then the issue out came what's done president saying force out only the hell
think of and about in the beginning in this great that good in life because and we that's where people and we can end up end up to have a group. I think and then they are not being understood of the other to this never what I this uh, when we that them in as make being let's look to the right items and we were having that point the bill run is and we can
problem, political compound issue having is of after. Horizon evening, uh, late food love you. Yes, bridges the issue. You said that being critical easy. Government has support and excellence. God in the National Assembly, we are a country on bridges not support billion loan. Follow the afford she wanted no residency. We and of course we all know example to go which people in to the to affect we are voted
no, you know, it's a every, let's take today. Mr. Billion. Only one project down. What is what of so the we solve that within as the and do we or is it like, for example the whole answer package to solve no no solution is that of the uh, required president parliament the thing you know corrupt but then the other uh, the 7 all this oh, yeah I mean the so work finally good can corrupt some so now one like the both and is view million. Youth two percent. We some to be heavy. We believe document. You know, I don't commit. Every year and police economy government. You can support if when they use saying that we are united. Let me tell you of the problem. The look is more you go the one but address this you the intake in this kind of problem. For example, we get we are that intake to be and just loading or rather this have 5 minutes.
the right of the will of truth. End of the day, everything that is up. We had so and there is people members we can't blow the day. Let's say number we are more the productive that belonging just that is true. We are just we have an issue with power rally concept political what civic is a parliament democracy is the biggest
Yes.
involved then and problem
Before
that are talking that
corrupt,
you know we talk to of to we can we not economy country
just people
the
on the whole nation.
example say will be voting that it's like America the and the most that the initial mission the government will know that the more living
I'm going to but
I say point was nothing wrong with politics. You wounds women. That's what I meant. The youth is
just the bill of for this break.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Looking for an all-in-one location to dine within a serene environment? Welcome to White Star Restaurants. White Star Restaurants is a family restaurant with mouth-watering cuisine from Somali, Ethiopian, Arabian, Indian, local to intercontinental cuisine. White Star Restaurants offers a variety of services ranging from dine-in, out to gazebos, conference, wedding hall, executive accommodation, medical clinic, mini market, saloon and barber shop, all at an affordable price. Amenities include mosque, free ample parking and kids playground. Visit our restaurants at Kileleshwa Kandara Road, Halingam Arguings Kodek Ruby's Patrol, CBD Sianda House on Koinange Street, Adams Arcade on Ngong Road. Contact us on 0798744257. Visit our website on whitestar.co.ke. White Star Restaurants. Great food, great services.
Horizon TV, kurunzi ya taifa.
And welcome back to Live Real Talk right here. Whoa, that was so random. Anyway, guys, karibuni sana to Live Real Talk. Tunaendelea na discussion right here inside the studio. It is fire. But Nurdin, you were saying something nikakukata kidogo.
I was getting to a point where my brother said we shouldn't dramatize this this conversation.
Yeah.
First and foremost, on a lighter note, thank you for noticing that I was the president drama club, Wami High School. Now on a lighter, that was on a lighter note. Anyway, aside from that, you know, let me tell you something. You see, when we are talking about issues facing Kenyans, we need to be holistic and serious about the issues. Because you see, when you take a walk out here and you ask someone, what is the most pressing thing right now to you? Some people have lost jobs. Some people have no money. People are suffering. Now, we are talking about opening schools come January. Has the government taken measures to make sure the children are safe? Remember, these children use public transport, that's one. Two, how safe are the school institutions? Remember, a child can share something as small as a lollipop or a bottle of water. You know, so other countries are focusing on a vaccine. We are busy focusing on a 2022 precursor. Because you see, the referendum is a 2022 precursor, and no one should lie to you. That is why we are being forced into a yes and no campaign. That is why I say it is not a people-driven initiative. Because if it were, you know, people-driven, it doesn't have to, just because it has human beings doesn't make it people. If it were for the people and by the people, believe you me, we would address the concrete issues like unemployment. You see, when you are so vague and you tell us, oh, money will go to the ward. If you saw yesterday in Parliament, the lady who was before the parliamentary committee, she was asked about the Kemsa heist. And she said, I will not name the directors of the company. In a serious country like Kenya, where we have issues of healthcare, and someone tells us, member of parliament, who are begging her, please mention even one director. She says, I will not mention any of them. They have refused. If we had the political goodwill, that is what I am saying. The issue is the software. Our leaders need to change their software. Forget about the constitution with these challenges. You know, if you change the forest, but the monkeys are the same, there's nothing you're doing. You need to change the software. If this was a serious nation with leaders, such a statement from such a person would have been dealt with. Because, you know, you can't tell me this company won this amount of money, 4 billion, and then out of nowhere, I want to mention the directors. And it would go like that, and the parliament will just look at her. So we are facing, like I say, the challenge we are facing as a nation is lack of proper leadership. And that is solved by Nordin, by Faisal, by Muturi, by Ibrahim, by electing leaders of integrity, leaders who want to go and do service, not selfish gains. It is hard, but we need to start having that conversation. Differentiate between the chaff and the wheat. We need to know, we need to be serious about our discussion. Who are we voting for? Because you see, the voter is the most important person. We have given power to these politicians. That is why they take us for rides. If we are to take the Jubilee Manifesto and give it a marking scheme, what they said, what they have done, they will fail dismally. They can't even go and do a certificate course. We need to be serious about the things we talk about in Kenya. Because at the end of the day, we are the ones who are going to suffer. Nice. And that is why I keep saying the voters should wake up.
But Ibrahim, you're burning to comment on that. I'm going to give you this chance now because Sita Kunyima any other chance now. Go ahead to respond.
I appreciate my brother's statement that, you know, the Kemsa has the problems of the corruption in this country. It still is going back to my my statement that today what we have that is bedeviling in our country is a corruption. The current constitution, when we were promulgating the current constitution, we had a lot of thought about capping corruptions, elevating the economy of this country, changing the lifestyle, a lot of things. But the current constitution has not still solved the problem because of the poor leadership. Now, why does he think that passing BBI or having a referendum will solve the same problem? This is all about leadership. This is about leadership. It's not about the document. So our sole responsibility is to have, as he said, to have a good leaders who are morally upright and who want to take care of their citizens. That's our role. Let's elect the leaders who will take care of us, you see. And for the issue of, the people are forcing, yes or no campaign, this is a democracy. As a country, we are a democratic country. We have the opportunity to exercise our views. Some people can say no. Even 2010 constitution, we had the people who said no, and we have people who said yes. And in any contest, majority will have their say, and majority will have their way. What is the problem in having a no and yes referendum? At the end of the day, those who exercise their democratic right and say no will have their way, will have their say. And the majority who will going to say yes will have their way.
That's democracy,
Yeah.
pure democracy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come to Bwana Muturi as we are winding up, because now we need to wind up and give time for the next program. Bwana Muturi, what would be your last words as we are wrapping up this conversation tonight?
I think we shouldn't put all the blame on our leaders. The leaders in society are a reflection of the society. If we have corrupt leaders, it means we are a corrupt society. We were born corrupt, we like corrupt leaders, we are clowns, that's why we elect clownish leaders. That's what we like, that's the reflection of society. So we will be able to have good leadership when the morals of the population and the voter is an upright moral. If the voter is upright, if the voter is not a clown, if the voter wants change, that's the kind of leadership that we are. So we shouldn't put all the blame on the people that we elect. The leaders are the reflection of society. All said and done, we shouldn't be at a point where we are condemning everything and saying there is no hope in this country. We should be able to, the people that are in leadership and the people that are in a position of power should be, we should be the people that are preaching hope and peace and prosperity for this country, because having a very huge young population, they need to have hope, they need to be told Kenya will be prosperous one day, and they themselves will find prosperity and accomplish their dreams as they get older. Because with the kind of talk that is going on that there is no hope, it's like 2022, there will be no Kenya and all young people are just going to be hopeless for the rest of your life. That shouldn't be the talk that we are talking. That shouldn't be the words that are going out there. Yes, we are facing challenges and we have the aspirations and the dreams that our children will not go through the kind of hassle that we went through. I'll keep on giving this story and story and story again of my grandfather who died fighting for independence. Our grandmother tells us he had the hope that we will be able to rule ourselves. As black people, as Kenyans, will be able to rule ourselves. And so we shouldn't all. At that time, they didn't have any weapons, they didn't have any educations, they didn't even know what they were doing, but they had the urge of doing it. So what should be preached to the young people of this nation, to the big population of young people that is being talked about? Start by loving the country. Start by being appreciative of the country and have the kind of nationalism, and we have the spirit of nationalism and patriotism. That one will be able to change this country. Tomorrow we are going, as we celebrate Jamhuri Day, we are going to hear a very familiar sound. Kenya, Kenya, Kenya inchi yangu. We hear that sound and hear that sound, but we don't get to the meaning. So I will urge all Kenyans, as you listen to that sound as the president is going around the stadium, may the spirit of nationalism and the spirit of patriotism rise up in you and make the decisions that is right for this country that you love and that you are born here.
Wow, thank you. That was very powerful, of course, from you. I wish I had the power to give you a chance to speak tomorrow at the Jamhuri Day. Yes, but no Dinkagia. Over to you, brother.
First and foremost, allow me to say big up to your grandfather. And now, challenge you and I, who is young. You see, you only talked of two spirits, nationalism and patriotism. But there's the most important spirit you're missing, liberation spirit. Let me tell you for free, the only thing that will liberate this country is the youth. And I'll tell you for free, because liberation is the duty of the young. But first and foremost, we need to liberate our mind. What do I mean? Change from the mentality where a leader is the one who gives me a packet of flour or 500 shillings. Liberate your mind to know that, one, we need to love our country more. Stop being, we need to remove this political interest that we, since 1963, our politics has been the same. And we need a radical surgery so that we have leaders who are selfless. Most people go into this office want to go make money, and you can never make money. Money is earned after working. So we need to change that narrative so that we can be able to have leaders of integrity and selfless leaders, so that people will be able to work for the people and not for their selfish gains.
Bonanudin, just hold on that thought, because we're having a small issue with your microphone that's going to be fixed. In the meantime, let's rush to, I'm sorry about that. I'm so much sorry about that, Bonanudin. Let's rush to Ibrahim. Your parting shot tonight, brother. We're going to come back to you, Bonanudin. Don't worry.
I need to appreciate my brothers that, it is time now that we take the responsibility. Currently, it's like the youth of this country have, lost directions. Kenya, we used to have, a kind of youth, a vibrant youth, who are advocating for the change of this country. The people who fought for this independence mostly were youth. They liberated the country, giving us the opportunity today to enjoy this freedom and opportunity. But you see, nowadays the youth are going into handouts they're becoming so bitty. They're drumming for the politicians. I think it's high time we take our space, build our horizon, and take our responsibility back, and build a country that is united, that has a future, and that our children can appreciate that the youth of yesterday have done something for us as a society. So now it's our time to take up, stop drumming up for politicians, stop parading for the wheelbarrows and mkokotenis, and listen the citizens and take our responsibility. Like right now, we have the Building Bridges Initiative process. Let us read the document, understand it, internalize. Internalize, and make an informed decision. But if we barred for all things and listen politician, I think we will not get far. I think it's high time that we take our position and build this country.
Wow, thank you. That was again quite another powerful statement right there coming from Bona Ibrahim Wakili. Thank you so much for making time for us this evening. Bona Nurdin Kagia, I guess you can speak now, just a little bit louder. Yeah.
They didn't hear anything. But
No. They had. It's only that in the middle of it. That's bro. Come on, man. You still need to give us some points.
So what I would say in essence.
Yes.
And if there's anything I'm taking home today, and I'm happy. For the first time, I've gone for a TV interview and I've found young men who are woke. They know that the challenge facing the country is the huge percentage is solvable by the youth. If we sit behind our keyboards and rant on Twitter and rant on Facebook or Instagram and there is no action, we are doing nothing. That is why I keep saying we need to liberate our mind as number one. Then number two, we need to liberate ourselves. When someone tells you, Nordin, if you want to deal with your issue, we need to negotiate. We are not free. We are still in shackles. And one man once said, only a free man can negotiate. We need to break the shackles of oppression, the shackles of seduction, misuse and abuse. We need to break the shackles that have oppressed us for years and that have caused us to be less empowered. We have suffered for so long, and it is time that the third and final liberation is led by young men and in conjunction with wise, not just old, but wise old women and men. Because at the end of the day, we are leaders of today, right now, and tomorrow. Faisal. There is no tomorrow without today, and I'll tell you for free. So any young man looking at me, watching, whether ukobes, if you are seated somewhere, realize, do not be hopeless. Because if you are hopeless, those who fought for independence, like his grandfather, we would never have been free. We need, we got independence, but we are still colonized. Now we need to change that and be free, because it is not yet Uhuru.
Yes, Uhuru will come by you and I taking part in our nationalism, liberation, and every single part of this nation, building this nation. Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome says, we are not Kenyans by mistake. Allah had a reason to make us Kenyans. So let's take our nationalism seriously and liberation seriously. Because of time, I'm not going to take time further into our ticket to slumber, but I'm going to thank you so much. Thank you, the gentleman, for making time for us this evening, from Wakili Ibrahim, Bona Norton Kagia Wakili as well, and my very own brother, Bona Muturi. I missed you on the set. Glad to have found you finally back on the set.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our viewers back at home for keeping us company. Thank you so much for making this show possible tonight. Thank you so much. I've been your host, Faisal Kassim. See you next week, some place, some time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.